Here is what happens when you stop fighting with your nervous system and start working with it. Your days as a mum start to feel completely different. Most mums that I work with are not broken or dramatic. Their nervous system is just stuck in survival mode most of, if not all, of the day. The laundry is a mountain. The noise is constant. Someone always needs something and their body is just stuck in that on edge feeling. Tight chest, shallow breathing, clenched jaw, and snappy voice. And that is a survival state, not a personality flaw. So here's the thing. When your body is in survival, your brain will create protective thoughts to match it. So you start thinking things like, I can't cope, or I'm a bad mum, or I'm failing, or no one helps me. And it feels like just mindset, but underneath it is really your nervous system screaming out that it doesn't feel safe and that everything is just too much. And when you're fighting your nervous system, you are doing one of two things. Either you are shaming yourself, telling yourself that you just need to be calm or just stop, you're overreacting or just be grateful. Or you are just completely ignoring your body. So you're pushing through, doom scrolling, numbing out, or just saying, I'm fine, when you're clearly not. But both of those things keep you stuck in the same cycle. And that cycle can continue for years unchecked. You already know that cycle I'm talking about, right? You get triggered, your body instantly reacts, and your mind jumps in with the same old story. You snap, yell, shut down, or even people please, and then comes the guilt. And that just becomes more proof that you are the problem. Well, here is what changes when you stop fighting your nervous system and start working with it instead. First, you shift. So you start noticing your body earlier. So instead of waiting until you're about a 9 out of 10, catch yourself at more of like a 4 or 5 out of 10. So you feel the heat in your chest or your shoulders creeping up, or maybe your breath getting shallow. And you just say to yourself, I am noticing my body is activating right now. And that one sentence just moves you out of autopilot and into awareness. And the second shift, you send your body a clear safety signal. So not with positive quotes, but with things your nervous system actually understands. So things like longer exhales or a physiological sigh, or even looking around the room and naming a few things that you can see. Dropping your shoulders and unclenching your jaw, maybe even a soft ha or hum on the exhale. These are all tiny things, but they tell your system that there is no tiger about to eat you and that you are safe enough to relax. And the third is you let the energy move instead of letting it explode. So stress chemistry wants to move through your body. So you can do things like shake it out or push on the wall for 10 seconds or step outside for a 60-second walk with some deep breathing. You give that charge a safe channel instead of taking it out on your family or yourself. So from the outside, this looks a bit boring, right? You're still in the same house with the same kids and the same triggers, but internally, everything feels different. So here's what that looks like in an everyday moment. Say it's dinner time, everyone's hungry, baby's crying, another child is whining and dinner's bubbling over on the stove. And then you get a message, your partner's running late. And the old pattern would be tensing up, maybe holding your breath and just trying to do everything at once really quickly. And then you snap and you yell. Then you just end up in tears in the pantry and telling yourself that you're the worst mum in the world and that you just can't do this. But working with your nervous system looks like this instead. So you feel that surge in your body and then you think, okay, I am starting to get activated. So you turn down the stove, you plant your feet on the floor, and maybe you do 2 or 3 physiological sighs and feel your shoulders drop even just a little bit. Maybe you look around and name what you see, even if it's just a few things like bench, kettle, fridge, window, child. And then you give that energy somewhere to go. Maybe you tell the kids, all right, mummy is doing a wiggle break, and even encourage them to do it with you. And you just shake your arms out and you be silly for 20 seconds. See, it's nothing huge, but it is enough to take you from a 9 out of 10 down to maybe a 6 or a 5 out of 10. And now that your body is a little more settled, your brain has access to better thoughts. And then you can tell yourself something like, this is a hard few minutes, not a hard life. I can do one thing at a time. And you dish up something simple, lower your voice, maybe turn on a nice playlist to have with dinner, and you have a nice dinner with everyone. So it's the same situation, but completely different energy. And this is the part most mums miss. You do not have to wait for a quiet morning, a spa day, or a child-free weekend just to feel different. Your nervous system shifts in tiny, real moments. One breath, one movement, or even a hand on your heart. Those small choices really do compound. And over time, you notice that your baseline changes. You're no longer living on edge or snapping all the time. You still have big emotions, and your kids still have big emotions, and that is normal, but you recover quickly and your repair is a lot easier. And you don't make every spiral mean that you're a bad mum. And the ripple effect of this is huge. Your kids start to feel you as more steady, and bedtime feels less like a war zone. Mornings feel a little less frantic, and you actually get small pockets of your own energy back. Working with your nervous system is not about being calm all the time. It's about knowing what to do with your body when the chaos hits. It's about building a relationship with your system where it trusts you to listen instead of pushing and pushing until it's screaming. So if you're tired of feeling like you're always one tiny thing away from losing it, this is your invitation to stop fighting your nervous system and start working with it. So next time you feel that surge, just try this. Naming it by saying, I am noticing my body is activated right now. Then send one small safety signal, something like a physiological sigh. Then you want to move the charge. So doing things like shake it out, push the wall for a few seconds, or a 1-minute walk outside. Those three steps seem simple, but over time, they change your baseline. Your days as a mum start to feel spacious, rounded, and more like you. And if you want more support with this, make sure you hit subscribe, because I am going to keep walking you through practical tools to regulate your nervous system.